How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of treehouse time in the form of their treat. Yeah, this is double IPA, Imperial IPA, that I have not had. This is kind of their Halloween beer they came out with this year. The canned on date actually is Halloween. I don't know if they've canned it on Halloween or they just kind of put that on there for show purposes. On the bottom it says all about. It's all just a bunch of Hocus Pocus, and as far as what it says on the side here, it says Treat is an Imperial IPA brewed by Treehouse Brewing Company to celebrate the autumn seasonal in the accompanying Halloween holiday. They had a, like, hyphened word. That's kind of weird. Someone didn't unclick hyphen on Photoshop. Anyway, its flavors are functional of complex, probably Illustrator or InDesign, to be perfectly honest with you. But anyway, its flavors are functional, are a function, goddamn, I'm butchering the shit out of this, are a function of complex and careful selected ingredients and experienced hands on brewing application. By utilizing enormous kettle and dry hop additions, we are able to coax clean and vibrant flavors of orange, lychee, mango, and grapefruit from a simple base of ingredients. Enjoy this treat. You've earned it. 8.1% alcohol by volume, done and done. I seen this released. I don't chase beers, but, you know, it's kind of like, okay, I kind of really want to try one of those. But, again, I don't chase beers, but I was lucky enough to have someone send this to me. Thank you very much, Steven. He sent me a box of New England beers, some mystery, some unwrapped non-mystery beers. This is one of them. And I heard a couple things about this beer, just being, you know, in the loop a little bit, and that it was supposed to be the same beer, I guess, across the board. Just different labels. But I've heard people say there's quite a bit of variance from beer to beer, or label style to label style. There'll be like a background difference, a lollipop color difference. I don't know if there is a difference from beer to beer. So two things. One, I don't know if that's the case. And two, if you see this review and it's different kind of can kind of coloring, might be a little bit different beer. I don't know, but we're going to drink it. Yeah, label-wise, actually, I really fucking dig it. I mean, I like Treehouse labels to begin with, but this one, you know, simple lettering, just the design, the whole nine. It just kind of does it for me, you know? Just, yeah. I like it. So, anyway. Can you see me through that glass? I don't know. We're giving you the actual proper pours as of late. I stopped doing my pour down the middle and hope for the best kind of thing. You know, sometimes life needs change. Sometimes it's for the better. Who knows? Anyway, what do we have here? Soft taste. Nothing too crazy. It's not the most turbid beer, thick beer in the history of mankind, but definitely got the haze going on. Rich golden glow throughout the whole thing. Pinky finger of infinite white head. Uniform bubble sans that little bit of rocky edge on this side from the pour. Yeah, she looks like a hazy. Let's see what the nose has. Yeah, grapefruit, citrus, sweetness, a little bit of kind of candied kind of sweetness. Doesn't smell soft. I usually get this nice rich softness from a lot of my Treehouse beers. I'm not really getting that much in here. It's just a little bit more kind of old school, actually. And it's offering, I mean, they're talking about simple ingredients, pulling flavors out of just base core stuff, not getting too crazy. It kind of makes sense, you know, in that sense. Yeah, she smells nice, but very un-Treehouse-like. Let's put it that way. You know, just that rich citrus that is very kind of old school, kind of East West Coast hoppy citrus. It's not as soft as confectionery, not any round edges. There's a generic kind of bittering. There's almost like a soft little carbonic kind of acid thing going on in there, in the bittering component of the beer. And that's pretty much it. I'm kind of excited to dive into it because I'm really curious about it, because it smells unlike a lot of different Treehouse beers I've had over the past several years. So, cheers. Okay, it gives you that softness, but with that kind of more old school vibe to it. The bittering comes off very old school. Very old school. Very orange, citrus rindiness, skin. We're not talking about pithiness there. There's no kind of like that depth of that bittering to it. It's more just sharp. The citrus there, old school itself too. With almost this subtle tart, like almost like sour component to it, to where you're getting like a little bit of, you know, that soured fruit that you tend to get from fruit from time to time. I always talk about the sour blueberry, but you can get that every now and then in your kind of base kind of fruits, whether it be citrus. It's more like a grapefruit thing when that sourness comes in. So you're talking about your orange, you're getting that bright sweetness, that acidity, that stuff that we all love. But if you dig into grapefruits, every now and then you just get this kind of soft, kind of sour tartness to it, along with that citric acidity and a nice kind of sweetness. It's kind of giving you all those portions of the show. So it almost makes me want to think it's like a more organic thing, because I'm getting every bit and piece of that kind of illusion of fruit. So that in itself is cool, but viscerally, it's not really kind of knee-jerk singing to me. It reminds me of a beer, and I don't know what that beer is. Yeah. No, it's a cool beer. I like it. It's fun. It just reminds me of Treehouse going, I want to make this person's beer. Some old school kind of brewery trying to do like a more kind of traditional style IPA as opposed to doing a super kind of over the top hazy. Listen, it's a hazy. It's got a nice kind of creamy mouthfeel to it. So it definitely has those kind of elements that Treehouse holds near and dear. But at the same time, it's definitely leaning a different flavor profile than they typically deal with. I kind of dig that. But yeah, it's fun. I like it. It's well made. There is that subtle, soft kind of little bit of kind of burning carbonic acid thing from the carbonation. It tastes like a carbonation thing to me. But absolutely forgivable. It's not something I really hang my hat on all too much. But if I think I drank like 2 or 3 of these straight, that would weigh heavy. Not even on my palate, but on the back of my throat, and kind of feel a little prickly right now. But it's a... Let's put it this way. I picked this beer up off a shelf and I review it. I'm pretty sure I go, it's an okay beer. It's fine. I like it. It's fun. It gives me a little bit of old school, a little bit of new school. This is where the bias comes in. This is the stuff I try to do with the mystery beers. With it coming from Treehouse, I get a little bit more excited about it. Not because it's Treehouse, because it's not Treehouse. It's something a little bit out. It's not a little bit. It's something markedly outside of what I've typically had from Treehouse. And that, even though this beer isn't just knee-jerk fantastic, it gets me excited because it speaks to me. It tells me that they're trying to do or experimenting with something different, and that's exciting in itself. So beer as a whole, it's an okay beer. It's fine. It's fantastic. I'm not going to wait in line, go crazy for it, all that kind of crazy stuff. But at the same time, to see them doing these kind of IPAs as opposed to the same thing, I mean, let's be honest, you know, Treehouse more times than not is, you know, not necessarily different IPA from beer to beer. Granted, you know, Bright is much different than Julius and it's different than Green. There are different models, but a lot of their beers are same model car, different options. This is definitely like, okay, we're gonna, instead of being like different model car, we're gonna make an airplane or make a motorcycle or make an ATV kind of thing. And you're starting to get a little bit further outside that comfort level. That is cool. So let's talk about it. It's one of the better Imperial IPAs. Detect no booziness on it, so that's the creepy part about it. I thought I was drinking like a 4% beer the whole time. It's one of the better Imperial IPAs I've had as of late. No. It's fun. I like the take on it, and it intrigues me, but it's definitely outside of that kind of knee-jerk, visceral awesomeness. Value and availability, no idea. Maybe Steven can chime in. It's a Treehouse. You got to wait in line and pay probably $4 a can for it. That's my guess. And leave you with, if you like what, will you like this? If you like old school IPAs, but you want a little new school treatment, that's kind of where this one lands. It's a cool take on a beer from brewery. Usually doesn't do this, so I think a lot of Treehouse fans might not like this beer, but at the same time, I think a lot of people who've been into beer a long time and like Treehouse might kind of look at it and give it like a quick smirk. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice little treehouse jammer right now. And hope to see you next time. Cheers.